Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Greg Helbeck, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to get rich quick. I said it. I'm going to teach you how to get rich quick, and I'll define get rich quick in a minute, but before I get into that, if you're new to this channel, my name is Greg Helbeck. I'm a real estate investor in San Diego, California, and I've made millions of dollars in real estate investing business. I've bought and sold well over 100 houses, probably 120, 125 at this point. Who knows who's counting? But the point of this YouTube channel and these videos is to provide value to people and share some lessons that I've learned so you can hopefully learn them through these videos and make your business more successful. So if you do get value from this video, if you could subscribe and like the video, it would really mean a lot to me. So let's talk about really how to get rich quick, right? And let's define get rich quick. When I say get rich quick, I'm not talking about, watching a real estate seminar on TV and buying a program and then a month later doing a wholesale deal and making $10 million. I'm talking about how do you drastically increase your financial situation within 3 to 5 years? How do you do that realistically? And the key there, as I said, 3 to 5 years, not 3 to 5 months. 3 to 5 months is not realistic because at the end of the day, anything worthwhile is going to take some time, just not as much time as you think, right? So you could do a real estate deal in 3 to 5 months, get lucky and make a bunch of money, but the odds of that happening are slim to none. So I'm going to teach you how do you do this in 3 to 5 years. Number one, here's step number one. You need to increase your income substantially. What do I mean by that? Let's say at, the time you're watching this video, you're making $3,000 a month, or let's say $5,000 a month. Let's say you're making $5,000 a month. If you were to stay on that consistent income rate and consistently bring in $5,000 a month for the next 60 months, which is 5 years, it would be very difficult to save a lot of money, assuming you have living expenses of $4,000 a month, right? That's $1,000 a month you're saving. That's what, $12,000 a year times 5 is $60,000, I think, if that math is correct. But, saving $60,000 over 5 years, if you take inflation into account, is just really not going to do much. Obviously, it's better than spending $60,000 over 5 years. But you need to understand, you need to raise that income level up to where the wedge between your income and your expenses is substantial. And I'm going to talk about what to do with that difference between your income and your expenses in a minute here. But you got to raise your income up. And in my opinion, you got to be making it, depending on who's listening to this, how old you are, how much overhead you have. You got to be making $10,000 a month minimum, right? Minimum. That's bare basement bones minimum. I'm talking $10K a month at the bottom, right? Ideally, $25,000, $30,000 a month. I know if you're watching this right now and you're not making that kind of money, you're probably like, oh my God, that's crazy. But trust me, if you're in the right business, real estate investing, you can do it within a reasonable timeline, 2, 3, 4 years, if you work hard. So you got to get your income up. And let's say you get your income to $20,000 a month, okay? And your expenses are now at $4,000 a month. And this is your net income, not your gross income. This is like, after you account for taxes and all that kind of stuff. If you're saving $16,000 a month and you do that for 60 months, you're going to have a lot of money to invest in whatever you want. So step number one, you got to raise your income up. In my opinion, you want to be making a bare basement bones minimum $10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year. You can, if your expenses are $4,000, you can save $6,000 a month. That adds up after time. So that's thing number one, is you got to increase your income. And then step number two is, I said that earlier, you got to create a big wedge in between your income and your expenses. And you want to take that wedge, which is the difference, and you want to start to save that money. You want to save the money, put it in a savings account, and stack it up, rack it up, stack it up, and do that, right? Because once you have capital built up, then, at least what I do, is I take that capital and then I invest that capital either into more flips or rental real estate, right? I invest the capital into two things, more flips and rental real estate. The reason I put it into more flips is because if I invest that capital into flips, I'm going to get a return on that capital. And then that's going to be a profit, and then I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to snowball that, right? And I'm going to snowball that capital base, right? And then obviously you invest in rental real estate. You park that in a rental property. Hopefully you buy it at a discount, and you can refinance and get most of your money out. You're going to have this equity in the deal that you're going to be able to stack property over property over property over property over property. So when you take that wedge, which is the difference between the income you're bringing in and the expenses you're paying out, and that wedge is substantial, let's say it's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, and you start saving that, and then you take that money you save and you start reinvesting it back into flips and rentals. If you do that for 3 years, you're going to be a millionaire, right? And I'm not making the claim here that it's guaranteed to happen. I don't want to get people trolling me afterwards. But if you do that, The odds of you being financially successful are really high. And here's why. You're making a lot of money. The money you're making is much, much, much more than your expenses. Therefore, you're taking the difference, the wedge I called it, and you're putting that wedge away in the bank. And then once you have a substantial amount of money in the bank from raising your income up, and I could do another video on that, basically get into a business or get into sales where you can make money either as an entrepreneur or on commission. Once again, another video. That money you save can get used to invest. And when you invest in these deals and they're successful deals and you're, flipping properties more, or you're buying rental properties with a built-in equity and you're able to get that equity refinanced, you're going to become a millionaire, right? Like it's just math. It's not voodoo. It's not rubbing your fingers. It's not rubbing your nipples and wishing to get rich. It's straight math, right? So that's how you get rich quick, in my opinion, is number one, you got to increase your income. Number two, you got to use the wedge principle and basically take the wedge between your income and your expenses and use it to save your money. And then once you save your money, invest that into real estate, in my opinion, or other things you want to invest in. And that's how and when you do that over time, you can build a lot of wealth in 3 to 5 years. But the key is you got to get your income up. The sooner you can get your income up, the more rich quick you're going to get, or you're going to get rich quicker, because you got to get that income up. It starts with income. Remember this, start with income. Don't start with buying rental properties if you have no money. That's not going to move the needle that much. Start with income. And you don't need to have a business or be in sales. If you're making a lot of money at your job, let's say you make 200 grand at your job or 150 grand at your job, and your living expenses are 25 grand, you can save a lot of money too. It doesn't matter where the income's coming from, whether that's from a business or whether that's from a sales job or whether that's from a W-2 job that you're making money on. You got to just get your income up and then use the wedge principle. Take that money you're using via the wedge principle. My lisp is nice, right? I've had it since I was 2. Principle, and invest that into properties or whatever asset class you like. And that generally is how you get rich quick. It's not some magic voodoo. Once again, there's no nipple rubbing activities unless you want to do that. And it's worked for me. It's worked for a lot of my friends. And you do that consistently and persistently over time. You track your net worth. It goes up. And there you go. So that's my opinion on how to get rich quick. Hopefully you got value from this video. If you did, like I said, subscribe to my channel and like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, by the way, if you want to get coached by me, if you want some one-on-one coaching, go to bookacallwithgreg.com. If you're a wholesaler and you want to wholesale me houses, or you want to JV wholesale deals with me, and you're in San Diego or the Hudson Valley or Delaware, hit me up. Email me, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. Peace.